And we're back. It's eating time. But I will see if, head to the farm when I'm ready. Sign from God, auto speech. Paying respects. Ran into brother Guy, fuck him. Klaus wasn't happy to see me. He's, an auto to promote the peasants' demands. He said that I should head to the commons. And Otto Zimmerman Mottenbauer returned from his adventures as a changed man. Otto told me to come to the commons later. I'll head there after I talk to Klaus. Right. So I guess, yeah, there's no over or double booking or anything like that. So we are going to head over to where we stayed 7 years ago. Oh, hello, Hendris. Andreas, you're back in Tassing. Just for a few days. I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Oh yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talked to him sometimes in my breaks up at the Abbey. Truly was. I was surprised Prior Ferenc didn't give you an earful. Oh, didn't you hear? Ferenc isn't Prior anymore. Now this isn't gossip. Mind you, just honest truth. After the abbot found out about Ferenc's black arts, he removed the poor man from the position. Matthew's Prior now. Still strict, but a bit quieter about it. He has a reserved Swiss temperament. I'd take that over Ferenc's outbursts. Matthew has always struck me as quite pious. I'm not sure I remember what he was like. You'll get no disagreement from me. Still, even if the prior is easier to get along with, the abbot's gone from bad to worse. Well, I don't know if he's all that bad. I need to figure it out. Are you in with the peasants, Endrus? Well, of course. Gernot has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. How far are you going to take us? I hope things don't get bloody. Yeah, that's better. Bloody, no one wants that, Andreas. But we're not going to get anywhere by keeping quiet. So they hadn't really invented striking yet, in a sense, because that would definitely bring in the pain and blood. A hunger strike is, I mean, basically they're doing a hunger strike without them wanting to do it if they're not getting enough food. So I guess the table sequence is going to be shorter this time around when there's not that much to pick from. You have a good advocate in Otto. I mean, I wish I should say to be careful, but I also want things to get better, so... unless there's some really good reason behind it. So, hope it goes well. Pray for us, will you? We could use St. Moritz's help right now. Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here and returned to Nuremberg, I take it you were married. I was. Sabine, she was waiting for me. I was. Marriage is a legal requirement for becoming a recognized master craftsman. I'm not sure if I can actually, because I thought I might be able to build the backstory, but I feel like it's not probably something that I can do. So, Sabine was waiting for me. I mean, both are true, but I'll just say this. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. I fear it's never going to happen. Really, not a single person has caught your eye. But when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. Innsbruck. think about her sometimes. Maybe more than as Christian. Hold on, you need to go back to Innsbruck and find a pretty girl. Yeah, let's go do it. If you're sad, you gotta, you know, do something about it. What, really? You're older than me and you're not married. Go find her, it's how it should be. Life's too short to be spent a dream about the love you could have, trust me. Do you think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? Yeah, it's like, it's a trip to Innsbruck for a couple of days and then you get the facts and then you can come back married or not. I seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish. Juvenile, you might say. Sure does. Maybe, but it feels right. Don't overthink it. I may have not found true love, but that doesn't mean you can't. You know what? You're absolutely right. Fuck that. Stay here and be miserable. I mean, you should... I feel when people say don't overthink it, it actually means that don't think, which is something that you shouldn't do, you should think. So, it's like, if you feel you're overthinking, I feel that you're not thinking enough. You're only halfway there, or less, or something, or almost there, but not quite. Well, maybe, but it feels right. Well, if I ever have the chance to go get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. And you should. There's something to look forward to, after all. Exactly. Thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Andres. Until then. He seems like a good man. So let's go and eat. I just want to... Oh, shit. There was like a weird running character in. Clara, Peter, and Big Jorg. Hello again, Briss. We're about to sit down for supper. Care to join? I want to walk around a bit more. I'll be back soon. I want to talk to these guys first. Oh, well, they're probably not talking. Maybe she'll talk. She's big now. Yay. Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? No. She could barely walk. It's me, Andreas. I've been a friend of your family for ages. I suppose you wouldn't recognize me. I'm not the poor artist your parents boarded. No, you were very young when I was last in Tassing. I boarded in your parents' house. You used to poke me in the foot with a stick to wake me up. I did? I think that's like stuff that maybe someone will remember. You did. I stayed in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. Cough, cough. I think you told me a story once. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They say you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in London, I learned a new portrait technique. No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. Alright. London has a big bridge going over its river, but the bridge is so big there are buildings on it. Have you ever seen a hound without a head? I think I'll go for the less bloody one. I mean, she might be... I can't remember what I did last time. I think I told her like a German-esque medieval bedtime story, which is never great, but I think she might be into, like, not violence, but things like this. But then I'm new here again, so I'll go the easy route. What, really? It doesn't sink? It's very sturdy. I walked across it myself. That sounds like the miracles Father Thomas talks about, like the Red Sea splitting. I wish they still had the bridge, although I would imagine it would be in horrific condition these days. People shitting out the window and stuff. God granted mankind the ability to create structures that reflect His glory. The London Bridge is one of them. I suppose it is. It's not a miracle, so people designed and built it by hand. Are you satisfied now? I don't want to go all godly on the kid. I suppose it is. You got the flu or something? Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perchta and the Wild Hunt? In Germanic folklore, the wild hunt is a supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends which may cause destruction or potent war and other catastrophe if not adequately appeased. The wild hunt is often led by a legendary figure such as Perchta or the Devil. I've heard of the wild hunt, but I never knew what it was. It's just like a mention here and there. So I you know, in a way I do believe in it, because if people are pushed into problems and then they start causing problems, then there will certainly be a wild hunt. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Of course, I lived in Switzerland for a while. They believed in Perchta too. They call her Dame Hulde, where I stayed, in Basel. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perchta and the spirits and charms. And the old woman, Attilia, she talks about them too, and says these words I don't understand, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but my grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So are they bad? No, they're not bad. You should learn what you can while you can. They're not bad, but those stories could get you in trouble, so... I mean, because it's someone else's kid. I don't have the time to... Like, when you tell a kid something and it's your kid, you'll have, you know, years of fixing the shit you say, in a way, making them more accurate. But if it's someone else's kid, it's like you're in, and then you say something, and then you're out, and then someone else has to sort of fix your problem. So, yeah, shouldn't might get you in trouble. So just be careful with them. So maybe you should learn about the old ways, but I think, you know, you should. This is an addition I didn't pick. Really? Yeah, some knowledge is dangerous for the soul, even if it doesn't seem like it. Well, in a sense that's true, but this is not exactly the route that I would have. Oh yeah, told the story of the basilisk, but it wasn't that bad. She doesn't really remember it. But I don't know. Like, this isn't exactly the path I wanted to choose, but, you know, we'll go for it. Alright. Cough. Thanks, Andreas. Until later. Veronica. Oh, Il Peter still doesn't really live up to his name. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. It's a good idea to set yourself up for the future, Veronica. I think just generally having kids when you're young, especially when there's not really... like in this world, it's better to have them young, because the younger you have your kids, the more healthy they'll be and everything. So life is a little bit more simple then. And you have your grandparents are still around and stuff. Christ, Andreas, not you too. I'm sick of everyone telling me how to live my life. I'll have kids when I'm good and ready, thanks. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave you to it then. Until later, Veronica. See you, Andreas. Yeah, and I didn't actually think about what I'm saying to her. I was thinking about what I think. If that makes sense. Hello, Mr. Ill Peter. Hey. They're all sick. Oh, it's you. The artist from a few years ago. Yes, Andreas Mahler is my name. I'm surprised you remember me. Everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still sharp as a nail. Andrus makes nails, you know. Good man. Oh, yeah, he does. Makes pretty good nails. Are you staying with my family again? No, I'm staying at the Abbey's. The Abbey? That wretch Gernot is probably charging you a king's fortune to stay there. The guest of the Abbey hasn't charged me anything. Why do you hate the abbot so much? I think the answer to this one is pretty clear, so he's not charging me. You just wait. He was kind enough to us at first, too. Yeah, I'm thinking that once I get there, there's going to be some work to be done. He seems like the kind of person who... I need to see him to make sure about everything, but I think he might be offering a free meal with a whatchamacallit, a request later. Can't think of any proper analogy there. Why do you hate the abbot so much? Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a tithe in... Actually, is that a tithe? Tithing, yes it is. In harder winters, but we were happy to help the Abbey then. So yeah, this is like the thing that I was sort of thinking about. But maybe he was also lacking vision, in a sense, in the changing world. We're going to have to, again, make sure what's going on. We could take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illnesses. Let us follow in the ways of our forefathers. True Christian, that old abbot. So yeah, it's like, because, you know, there are rules and stuff, and maybe the abbot is getting pressured as well, but he could allow, because there's no internet, no cameras, so he could allow all kinds of stuff without anybody really knowing. And then Father Gernot promised he would keep everything between the Abbey and us peasants the same. And we were foolish enough to believe him. Well, there was nothing really you could do about it. He was going to be abbot anyway. At first, he refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher. He stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. So he's carrying gold, or gathering gold. Now he only takes coin, as though we can come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. The bastard doesn't give a damn about us. Not how Father Matthias did. The Abbey had patrons then. Times weren't as hard. It's not Father Gernot's fault that he's had to increase taxes. I didn't realize how bad the restrictions were for you. Father Gernot's been an ass longer than I thought. But yeah, there's always this, but I feel like people should just maybe leave. It's not that bad to abandon an abbey that just doesn't, you know, make money. If the village is, or the villages around are too small and there's no one really wanting to keep it up, I'm sure there's enough money for or enough, you know, resources to go around to just keep it alive, the abbey I mean. But then, you know, you don't always need to hold on to power desperately, because it's just going to end badly anyway. So I didn't realize how bad the restrictions were, which is partly true, because, you know, all the forest stuff and things like that, I didn't even think about that. Of course you don't. Not your kind, with all your fancy hats and tassels and furs. You don't need to see the troubles of us common folk. Why should this new abbot grander than us all? Well, I don't live here, so... Cough, cough. I should go. Alright. So she's sick, he's sick. They're all gonna get sick. And, let me see I can't get to my old room. I wanted to visit that. But anyway, if they don't, like, they have herbs at the Abbey, I would think, so... I'm starting to think that Gernot is being Gernot. He should go from Gernot to Ger... Yes. What? Whatever. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? It would be my pleasure. I think we went through town pretty well. It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Sure, you invited us, so I mean, when food is tight and you have a family, you know, guests come last, I think. Young boys eat too goddamn much. Well, you got Big Jorg here. I think he's eaten fucking 5 children himself. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again for our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen, everybody. So I think the sort of Christian thing is where, at least according to, I think the Bible said, like, if you're you don't need to fast anymore, but you need to accept fasting with grace. Like when there's no food, then you'll fast. But then at the same time, if someone else has food, or if you have food and no one else has food, then you should share it, and then you all fast together. I think that's like the logic of the Bible. So the Abbey is sort of you can only judge, I guess. Well, not only, but you can more easily judge a person through their own sort of not true convictions, but the convictions that they display out. So if they say that they're a Christian, then you can use their own sort of tenets to judge them by for hypocrisy. So I think the Abbey is sort of going the wrong way, unless he really has some nice investments that he is putting all this suffering into. Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? The Gertners can't afford a lot of bread. They're being polite. Fuck up, Casper. I'm hungry. I hope we're whispering. Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Casper, yes, he's my apprentice. Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. So, I'm waiting for this to become more than a sort of nice thing that you can do. I actually really enjoy this sequence in a way, but also it's insulting not to eat the bread that they give you so that the other people don't, have it. But it's also, if people are really hungry, it would be nice to be able to break the bread in a way and share it to everybody. And not to get all biblical on your ass, but it is a medieval game. But I think the old story of the fish and the bread is how there were a lot of people, and then some people had food, and they were like, well, I'm going to eat all of it, but if you share all your food, then everybody gets fed. So it wasn't really maybe about, you know, magically making fish and bread out of nowhere, but it was rather, if you just don't hoard shit needlessly and just, you know, share it away, then everyone can have some and things are good, and then you can celebrate and party. So I'm not really, I don't like, this is why people have customs, I think. Like when, I think like the Chinese would ask if you wanted any more, and you would always, the guest would always have to say no. And then if they actually didn't want more, they would have to flip their cup around so that it could not be refilled. But if they wanted more, they would say no and then leave the cup as it is and then be given more. So that's why you have sort of customs like that, so that you're trying to sort of sail between an emotional ocean of people. But we're going to get the fresh porridge first. Do you still draw in your journal, Andreas? Not really. The work I do now is pretty rote. I don't know what that means, so I'll do this one. But I guess it's sort of, well, maybe not, well, boring is maybe not a full description of it, but it's sort of a routine or something like that. And sometimes. Wouldn't that be nice, Jorg, if we only had to work when the whim took us? And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us all while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine. Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here. No, I can take it. I mean, you've given me bread and stuff, so I think I'll take a bowl of whining with it. Yeah, I wish I could give... I'll try to drag it. I cannot. I'll eat the cheese first, and then I'll share the bread. How have the fates been treating you these last few years? The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. That's one way to say it. Been miserable as shit all around. Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa, and shut the fuck up. If I'm going to die, I'm going to do it sitting up at my own goddamn table. That's the spirit. The whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, his father, and Ursula with an egg. And me as well. And me, well... Clara lost a child in childbed a year ago now. Oh, shit. Thankfully she didn't go with the child. Was the child baptized before they passed? It's, I mean, if I was really interested in this, or if I was really actually extremely, I don't know what to call, liturgically pious, I would ask this probably, but I'm not, so I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Andreas. It was some time ago, but such things linger. They do. It was monstrous. St. Augustine says that nothing done by the will of God could be contrary to nature. Ill Peter. Yeah, I should just shut the fuck up. Don't think about it. Just keep the conversation going. You're already thinking about it. Please leave me alone just for a while. I don't know. Alright. I don't want to. I'll just shut up. It seems the Lord rarely looks in on Tassing any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. Not at the table. Please, can we not talk about this now? So, yeah, it's not... With all this stuff, like with the cult and everything in the background, it's not really smart moves from the abbot. Jorg here was married while you were away, Andreas. My condolences. Really, to whom? To me, Andreas. Why else do you think I'm here? Oh shit, I don't remember everybody, man. Of course, you two make a good match. Jorg has been good to me. There aren't many other options in Tassing anyway. He has been the best option, the best to you possible. It's been a couple of springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Any children yet? There's been enough time for it. I'm not going to bring the kids up now, so she's going to get mad. Although I would like to know why. Maybe, well, she already said. I'm sure she's not lying, so congratulations, Jorg. Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in the dark season. With children soon to come, I hope. What? I don't get it. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Do you? Don't forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Foreign patrons are fussy. It's been a fortune trying to keep my ink wet. Nuremberg was miserable. I'm painting a commission. I've been so busy with Casper's apprenticeship, I've never had time for myself. What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now. My mind's gone blank. What should I say? Don't leave them waiting. Can't think of anything. Nothing but my miserable little fucking problems. They'll think you're rude if you don't say something. Yeah, true. Can I just say that, you know, things are fine? But there's only options to complain. And, you know, none of these complaints are anything that they're going through. But I think I would have actually complained because it's not that I'm insensitive, it's just that I don't, I'm stupid. Painting commission, patrons are paying to be added, so it's taking ages to finish. I've spent a fortune trying to keep my ink wet and canvases dry while traveling. Yeah, none of this is really, and I don't want to blame him about it because it's good to have an apprentice around. Keeps you fresh. Your ID is good. Your ID is good. Nuremberg is miserable. Yeah, whatever. Takes ages. I'm not interested in tales of your charmed city life. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm so hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. Good, Casper. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop. Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. And we'll keep it in the down low, old man. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. My apologies, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome. Yeah, I'll try to talk to him as long as I can. It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yes, thank you for coming, Andreas. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve? I think we should. I think so. Good. Hopefully we'll see you later. So St. John's Eve is probably tomorrow, and then that's on the aftermorrow. Like the guy sleeping. Seems so peaceful. So we're gonna go to sleep in the next episode. Probably because there will be some things that we're gonna have to, or actually not have to, we can talk to the people up at the Abbey, whoever's remaining there. Unless it's Guy. So I'll see you there.